Welcome to the Christmas show, the last Christmas of 2025. Of course, we only have one Christmas every year, but we celebrate the Christ essence that was known before the mystic was born in each of our breaths as much as we can. So what is Processions, the name of today's show, December 25th, 2025? Processions, well, in sounds, it's prose, that's speech, then S, the thoughts that make material things appear, and then the ions, which is the manifestation, the wave functions behind all matter and material. So, welcome to the show.
What is the procession to lose all judgments of the things and human individuals of Earth?
Well, our skin is a boundary and an interface between the D-arc or the dark, our vessel, where unity exists under our skin. And there is contention of the common and the charged, but they both recognize the access point and they exist in parity. And it's self-determined regulation of recovery and equilibrium. An impartial view of the nature that surrounds us reveals the same exact format.
Outside the skin exists the mental realm of cognition of the senses, the light, separations, variety, definitions, and descriptions. The skin is the S plus kin, an interface between the inner unity realm and the outer separations realm of senses and perishing. The self is the access point and the mediator of the unity and the separations. The skin of the anatomy is the access point, and the face displays the fractured emotions of the perishable being.
And our judgments are formed after we determine values. Our values are determined from where we proportionately place the weight of our various emotions. Emotions are a spread of the fracturing of our core essence we were born with. And this makes them the highest energy exchange or currency in the universe. Our emotions begin spreading from the moment we arrive to the world and begin acknowledging it and adopting it as we adapt to our reality. If we're never taught the value of our emotions and how it leads to our realities, then we'll become subjects of the loudest and most subtly influencing messages and sounds that arrive at our ears, our sensual awareness, and our thoughts.
Our emotions and the weight we give them occurs through engagement with others in dialogue, speech, language, and the arrangements or sequences of the tones in speaking. When we misunderstand this order, we can be led into any number of emotional wretchedness, rabbit holes, or simply bad behavior that is not progressive or may include self-imposed injury. Losing judgment of others equates to valuing each life in the same regard as you do to your own. This kind of humility or allowance is only available from deep appreciation gained by acquiring knowledge via observation and relationships with intimate friends and a partner in nature itself.
When we find ourselves at the center of the greatest challenge and opportunity in the universe, then that woman or man knows that each of their brothers and sisters are occupying the same position, but from a unique experience and perspective. Think of the coin. The minted coin cements the mind into limit and money with its full metal jacket. The coin observably has two faces facing oppositely, and an edge that can see all three perspectives, a coincidence of nature. Now we're going to head up the private investigator of discovery, and that's not P.I. Diddy. It's the private investigator, and that leads to discovery. And one of our questions is, who runs the world? Is it Satan? Satan as a sound broken out is S plus 8 plus N. S8N. Satan equals the 8, straddled by south and north, or the dualities, or the disparities of polarity. The 8 is the origin of the symbol S and the idea or the word S in Latin, meaning the thoughts that make the material.
The word private equals PR plus I plus V8. Private is from the verb privare, to bereave, deprive, rob, strip of anything, to free and release and deliver from anything. From privus, one's own, an individual. From proto-italic, pri or pre-wo, which means separate or individual. The word investigator equals N plus VS plus I plus G8 plus R. Latin investigatus or investigare, to trace out, to search after, and search into. Investigate, from into, the pi root N, EN, or IN, plus vestigare, to track and to trace.
So investigator is a hunter, a tracker, and looking for all the clues. And in the word know, which is what the investigator wants to know. And in the word know, we have a silent K and a silent W. And it originates from the French word connaître, meaning perceive, understand, or acknowledge, or savoir, have a knowledge of, a know-how. In Latin, the origin of these words is the word sire, S-C-I-R-E, should naturally be pronounced skire, S-K sound plus ire, meaning to understand or perceive, coming from the word cognoscere, get to know, acknowledge. To know is a fact, and that is what is derived from the values made in the mind.
What creates thoughts? Well, Apple-I answered it at 12:09 p.m. Thought reduces to G, the letter G, which is a C, which is the child, but with a lectern or a desk attached. So G is value of 7, and that's within the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 triune.
What creates thoughts, and this is the order that thoughts appear in. So the order as an acronym is 2, which means you're on your way. So whenever we think about knowing something, we're already on our way there, because we're breaking the still into a reality, the same way creation happened from the beginning. And we all repeat this every day. But let's go ahead and break apart thoughts and how they appear.
So the order is G, which is aura or air, spirit and soul, man, brain, anatomy, senses and essence, and man's will to know thyself. The emotions and thoughts mix with observations and relationships. Thoughts and emotions determine values, principles, actions, and outcomes. Thoughts lead to circumstances and coincidences or fate. Rumination and patience distills all of the above.
And that was posted at 129. And that's one person on their way to 9. And that was the time that I posted the answer, inadvertently, but coincidentally. So there's another question that comes up, and the next one is, where are we? And is Earth a machine?
Machine means ma plus sheen, that's MS, and translates to land of plus sheen or shiny things and metal. Machinations, like imagination.
So if you said it slower in the base words, you would say machine shuns. And when we run it all together, we're taught to pronounce machinations as machinations.
So machinations is a
French word.
A French word. Machination. A plotting, an intrigue, from Old French
Machination.
which is plot or conspiracy, scheming, intrigue, and directly from Latin, machinationem.
Machinatiationem.
And machinatio, which is a device, a contrivance,
Or machination.
machination, or machinari, to contrive skillfully, to design, to scheme, to plot. From machina, so you have machine, an engine, a device, trick.
So the machine is a way to trick the natural function into an ordered function. And not that there's anything wrong with that, it all depends on proportions and perspectives. So it is possible to have it all, as long as there's a balance. So the word machination doesn't really have a good connotation in modern language, because it's a derivement or a trick. Basically, it's a beguiling. But this can happen in machine fervent focus also. So if we focus hard on the machines, then we become as the machines are. Tricksters, trickery, beguilers, liars. More focused on the shiny things than the real natural things.
Now we're going to discuss where are we and where is Earth, and how is man powered and maintained. As long as these questions are unanswered, all other answers have the value of a comic book or a machination. The ChatGPT, the more you use it, the more you lose it. Critical brain function diminishes with each use of the LLMs. We reject the track, the trace, the control mechanisms of the technocratic dictatorial state monster, criminals, and their masters. Here's the AI. It equals one eye. The sole purpose of one eye or AI is to create a synthetic world absent of natural orders and knowledge of God. As we approach convergence, we arrive at the turning point of influence in every area of our lives, including the efforts to alter, through influence, our perception of reality.
Not only our perception of reality, but a complete forgetfulness that we bend and create realities ourselves, because we carry the spark of God in us and we have domain over our thoughts, will, and choices. So perceptions of reality are based on the realities that we literally create. And this is the big secret that's being hidden by the one-eyed monster. At this very moment, the computer languages or codes at man's best try at attempting to break God's natural design of creation into particles attached to metal, with which the one-eye monster will then rearrange into a world of aberrations that it forms. The first strike is against fairness, and fairness in perspectives. It's a collision. The second is a conversion where we're immersed and engulfed with the oneness of a fake God, of a satinized technology, a grip. The satin in the word Satan means the sheen, like in the word machine, which is ma-sheen, or the land of shiny things.
What's behind blue eyes? When eyes are blindfolded and ears are covered, it is like the proverb, where there is no vision, the people perish. The eyes are the windows and doorways to the soul. When light impinges upon the eye in a certain way, it can cause farsightedness, akin to the futurists, who see their version of the future clearly, but are blind to the short-term consequences of their fervently focused vision.
So these shiny, satinized proposals and sugared suggestions create a fog of deception, illusion, and mist, or mystery, that clears as the truth bell is reverberated through the house of the lying cards, because it was built from the material of natural order. We can reject placing values to lives within false paradigms of the masculine and feminine, or the left-right, or the political oppositions, or the celebrity oppositions. and all the stagecrafts that are presented to coax and coerce. Choose this side or choose that side, or just stay anywhere you want in the realm of opposites and duality.
Doublespeak to create doublethink mindsets and emotional wreckage is the number one ploy of the chief and its minions. The world stage is stagecraft and not a political battlefield, but a proving ground for soul carriers. Many actors and actresses in different suits working covertly for the Luciferian agenda. Some as heroes and others as villains, but all follow the same script and the same director.
A simple trick that mixes natural order with unnatural suggestions. A simple but elaborate deception based on the confusion created about the values in the masculine-feminine union and the format of the gender universe of common, charged, and neutral. But once this is seen, it can't be unseen. A good rule of thumb through the ages is trust no man. Observe and see that natural order is true, but every world leader of mortal men is a liar. So now we're going to move on to the air, which is the greatest distiller in our realm, in our environment. And so let's go ahead and take apart as best we can and describe the air.
The air, the invisible realm of the air, will become our benefactor or attacker based on how we use our demands and our questions. Consider the recall that God and natural order are the true source and power for nature and man, for our personal and communal well-being. AI is the opposite, the covert, the cover ID, the COVID-19, the cover ID of AI-19, the 9-1 DVOC, and that means I am God, plus divorce.
It's clear as the air. So we'll see you on the next round. Tao Tao.